Welcome back to our weekly deep dive, where today we're discussing a rather intriguing story that's been making the rounds on social media.
That's right. It involves a popular influencer who recently posted what she called a boyfriend application online, and, believe it or not, got responses from over 5,000 single men.
Yeah, the sheer number of responses is mind-boggling, but what's even more surprising is that she rejected all of them. None of the applicants met her expectations, it seems.
Quite a move, isn't it? It really does open up a lot of questions about the intersection of social media and personal relationships. What was she looking for that 5,000 men couldn't provide?
It's fascinating. According to her statements, it seems she was looking for someone who not only complements her lifestyle, but also someone who understands the nuances of being in the limelight. Perhaps the traditional metrics of compatibility just don't cut it anymore in certain circles.
And that brings us to the concept of compatibility. In the age of digital dating and social media, has the criteria for an ideal partner evolved? I mean, considering things like online persona versus real-life behavior.
Exactly. Plus, think about how public something like a boyfriend application on social media is. It's not just about finding a compatible person, it's also about performing that search in a very public way.
Right. There's an element of spectacle to it. This influencer, by making her search public, also controlled the narrative. It's almost a statement, isn't it? About autonomy and perhaps challenging the traditional approach to dating.
True. And speaking of challenges, how do you think the men felt being part of such a public application process? There's a level of vulnerability there.
Definitely. For these men, there's not only the personal rejection, but a very public one at that. And it must be mentioned, each one of them was just one in a crowd of thousands. That's got to impact the way they perceive such public calls for romantic partners.
Absolutely. And let's talk about the broader implications of this. What does this story tell us about the state of relationships in our current social media landscape?
It's a clear indicator of how social media is not just a tool for connection, but also a platform for broadcasting and gaining visibility. Relationships, or the search for them, can be leveraged for social media content, which then feeds into the influencer culture.
So it turns relationships into another branch of performance art in a way. But then, where do we draw the line? What becomes of genuine connection if every part of the relationship journey is content fodder?
Great point. It's crucial for us to consider where authenticity fits into these new norms of dating and relationships. Does the scale and spectacle of something like a boyfriend application overshadow the more tender personal aspects of forming a bond? Well, that's all the time we have today, but this is definitely a topic that deserves more exploration. What do you think? Is finding love becoming more about the show than the genuine connection?
Something to ponder indeed. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and make sure to join us next week as we tackle another fascinating topic.